If you're looking for a new way to support the podcast, check out Dubby.gg, an energy supplement company trying to make a difference. There you can use code SIDEMISSION for 10% off your order. Thank you to Dubby for sponsoring this episode, and we hope you enjoy.
Welcome into the newest episode of Side Mission. I, like always, am your host, Rusty Ellis, joined by the boys, Kyle Lynch and Matt Beck. And today, just to give you all a sneak peek behind the scenes, we are re-recording our Mario Kart World episode because I'm just going to be honest, my mic was damn trash when we tried to record this the first time. Y'all are muted or you're not laughing. It's okay. Y'all can laugh. We can laugh through it. It's okay because my mic sounded like absolute ass the first time we tried to record this. So now we're going to regurgitate everything that we said on that episode a second time, and we're actually going to talk about the game. The good news is it's Mario Kart World. That's what we're talking about. We had a lot of fun with the first time we reviewed this, and it's a game that we're still having fun with even today, a week later, and really almost a month after release. I mean, I'm not going to lie, boys. This might have been the perfect Nintendo Switch 2 launch title. And I think we all believe that like this was almost... I don't know what else they could have done better for a launch title. I mean, Matt, obviously you're a big Nintendo fan. I'll pose that question to you first. Is there a better launch title out there that Nintendo could have come up with outside of Mario Kart World? Because frankly, with the mainstream appeal to it, the fact that it really anyone that games can be into a game like this, I feel like, Matt, this is a home run for Nintendo to kick off the Switch 2 era.
Yeah, you when you launch a new console, you have to come in swinging. And Mario Kart, we have to remember about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch is the highest selling Switch game. So it only makes sense that they would, open it up a new console generation using Mario Kart, especially a game that they know that they can support for a long time and it's going to offer plenty of content. Again, Mario Kart is just such a popular IP, and like other than Breath of the Wild, I thought that this was the perfect opening launch game for a new system.
See, Breath of the Wild was the one that came to mind too, which, funny enough, the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild and the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom are now somehow the two highest rated games that have come out this year. I don't know if Death Stranding 2's release has affected that, actually, but before it released, those were the two highest rated games on Metacritic that had come out this year. So it's funny that you mentioned Breath of the Wild as well, because that's relevant, very relevant still in 2025, even though it came out back when the Wii U was around. But I do think the difference, and Kyle, you might agree with this, I feel like one of the big differences in Breath of the Wild versus Mario Kart World, I could see somebody playing Breath of the Wild if that's the launch title they get, and maybe not really liking it all that much. I can see somebody playing it and it might be hard for them to get into. Whereas I feel like Mario Kart World, it's so easily accessible to everybody. It's a game that you can play by yourself with friends and have fun regardless. I feel like this is, again, it has that more mainstream mass appeal. Whereas Breath of the Wild, if you're a Zelda fan, you're probably going to love it. If you're not a Zelda fan, it's 50-50. You might not love it. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, even as a Zelda fan, I think that with them going away from the traditional formula, it was a big risk as well. Now, it paid off because everybody liked it for the most part, but I think that...
You did not?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan, but, it was a big risk that I think paid off. However, this was a much safer bet, and I also see this being, their launch title. It's a game, like you said earlier, that could be supported for a long time. Not only, does it have a wider base that it can appeal to, you can also keep them around longer because, like you said, if somebody picks up Breath of the Wild and they don't like it, they're going to put it down. They're not likely to give it a try. We've played the shit out of Mario Kart World, and, I mean, outside of, like, completionist stuff, we've pretty much done everything. So extra content will keep us coming back to this game, especially if it's free. Now, if they drop content for this game for free, I will cease to complain about the price or anything about this game. I think it will be, the best Mario Kart to date, because even 8 Deluxe had paid content, and
Yes.
You know, this one's free. It's gonna. There's literally nothing about 8 Deluxe that you could say is better than this at that point.
Yeah, I think that is something when I look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and I compare it to this. I think they look very similar. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, to give it its flowers, was a really damn good looking game. Like, it looked good and it ran good considering the hardware it was on. It was a really good performing game. And it sold well for a reason, because it was a fun arcadey racer at first. That game got very sweaty and very competitive, especially online, years down the road. It got to a point where online, if you were not good at the game, you probably shouldn't go online. But taking it back to World, and where I feel like World excels, and Matt, you've played a lot of both Mario Kart World and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think we all three have played a lot of both games. But I feel like the big difference here is this does have a more arcadey feel, and it doesn't have the same exact arcadey feel that 8 Deluxe did. It has more of a feel of, hey, this is more casual friendly. This is a little bit more because, and I feel like part of that is the addition of 12 extra racers in a race. Instead of 12, you've got 24. And it feels like races are so chaotic that even if you're in last place, all it takes is 1 or 2 items, and you could all of a sudden be in the top 5. And just like that, you're back in the race. Now, it works both ways. If you're in first, all it takes is 1 blue shell, a red shell that's well-timed after that, and you can go from first to last in a matter of seconds. But I do feel like the more arcadey feel to this is going to prevent it from being too sweaty down the road. I don't feel like the online games that we've played have really been all that sweaty. I've had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually a couple weeks ago I spent about an hour and a half online raising my rank, and it wasn't really consistent where I placed. Like in the beginning, I placed like in the top 12, roughly. Like I stopped doing it. I stopped playing when I got my first place. I was like, you know what? I'm satisfied with that till I come
You peaked, right?
I was like, I probably did at least 12 races. But, you know, speaking of the arcadey feel of this game compared to previous Mario Karts, I do agree with that. I think one of those things that really makes this game stand out from the rest is the fact that we have the free roam mode, which is, I think it could have been done better. I personally, I honestly wish that they added like actual challenges with maybe some of the other characters, like, you know, just speaking to an NPC and then, hey, let's do this, let's race, do this under this amount of time. Whereas in here, they use the P blocks, and they're just like these super random challenges. Most of the time, you just driving through rings, competing with the time. Every time you go through one of the rings, it just ups the time that you have to get to the finish line. But some of these are really challenging, especially ones involving using the wall gliding that they have now, where you drive on against the wall, which I'm still trying to master. It's actually kind of difficult. And then, like, all throughout the map, they have the little question mark blocks on the ground. There's a certain number of them. But I think one of the things, and we all three were addicted to this, was just driving around and finding the different outfits for all the characters. Like,
yeah, no, I would agree.
We were in a party looking for them. Just like it was a lot of fun, especially when you found one that you didn't have after having like, because some of the characters have like 8 skins and then some only have like 2. There's a lot of fun things to do here, and also I think it's really cool that when you're playing online with your friends in a party, like you can instantly pull up the map, locate where they are, and go find them.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of cool elements to the free roam. I won't lie, and Kyle, I think you felt this way right when we started playing the game. There was, for me, a feeling of, okay, is this it? Is this all in this row? Because it does at first feel a little empty, kind of like what Matt said. There's challenges. There's, you know, P blocks and the question mark blocks. You can obviously go and collect all the skins out in the open world, and like, oh, that is cool, right? But it does feel at a certain point like it is a little empty. Did you, because I know you kind of had a little bit of a tone change on that after you got into a little bit. Now that you've got probably 10, 15 hours in this game at minimum, you might have even more at this point. I really don't know. I don't stalk you. I don't stalk your hours. I've never had to be fair.
Stop my play a game.
Yeah, listen, one of these days we're going to do a Chronicles of Side Mission, and we're going to talk about the early days in 2020, and y'all are going to hear some stories. that you're going to be like, there's no fucking way that is true. Y'all are going to hear some stories. But back on it. After you played a little more, Kyle, what are your overall thoughts on the open world, and do you think there's room to grow here?
Yeah, that is something that I have thought about is, with them potentially adding stuff, could they add more content like Matt was talking about to the free roam? I think they could. And, it is a little lackluster. There's stuff to do, at least. When I first started up, I did feel, like you said that this is it. And then I realized, okay, there's peach coins to get. There's, challenges to do. There's at least some stuff to find. I would like to see them add more stuff like NPCs to talk to and specific missions that they can give you and such. Or maybe, exclusive things you can do in the open world, kind of like the challenges, but maybe, you race specific characters on a track, and you do extra laps, you do less laps, there's specific items, there's modifiers. There's a lot I think they could potentially do if they put in the work on it. Now, I will also say the only other racing game I've really played with free roam is Forza Horizon. So,
yeah.
It's not like racing games usually have a free roam. Us having this is a bonus in of itself, so they could do nothing with it, and it's fine. I would personally like to see them do something with it, though, because it's here.
I'll give you something I think that they could do that really would have improved and taken it to the next level. And I do think whenever we see the next Mario Kart, it'll probably be on the Switch 3. But I don't want to think about that yet. The Switch 2's been out a month. But I think one thing that could take it to the next level, because I think about kart racers that we've played, right? I think about kart racers that I've played. Obviously, we all played a lot of Crash Team Racing. We all are planning on playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds when it comes out. I know I've played Nickelodeon kart racers. I don't know if either of you have, but nonetheless, we've all played kart racers. I think that this game would have really benefited, as crazy as it sounds, to a story mode like what CTR had. I think it would have benefited it. And I think, honestly, with all these characters, I think it would have cooked. I think it would have been really good. And I think that hopefully that's the next evolution of this, is adding a story. It doesn't have to be a groundbreaking Last of Us, God of War, Plague Tale style story. It doesn't have to be that. It just give us something that is good, solid 5 to 10 hours of fun in addition to what we're already doing. And I think it's a nice little bonus in terms of what we're getting for our money. Now, the money is the interesting part, and that has been a point of contention with this game from the moment it was revealed. That has been the point of contention, and I know you both already know how I feel about this, but I'm going to state it again because nobody else has really heard this. After playing this game for about 20 hours, I don't necessarily hate the $80 price tag on it. I don't hate it, and I want to make it very clear. I am not advocating for other games to do this same bullshit. I am not advocating for that. But in terms of a game that all three of us and potentially more of our friends can return to over the next 7 or 8 years while this console is around, I mean, this is going to be a game that we might not play every day, but we're going to constantly come back to it when there's new content. And believe me, Matt, how many times at parties that we've had have we whipped Mario Kart out?
Every single time.
Literally. It's like Smash Brothers or Mario Party. It's like that. Like, we whip them out every time because they're games that everyone can play and have fun with. Mario Kart is the best example of that. And Kyle, like you said, if we get free content, we get free extra tracks, new racers, and I do think we will get new racers beginning with the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I do think we will get new racers.
Oh yeah.
At the very least, new skins. At the very least, new skins. Like, I think that will happen. Like, to me, I feel like that's it's like Fortnite almost to an extent, because Fortnite was a free download. And if you're still playing it, that game came out in 2017, 2016. And it's still getting new content. I know. I just aged us a little bit by telling you how old Fortnite was. I know. That's crazy. But think about that. Like, if Fortnite had been $60, you would have more than gotten your money's worth if you're still playing it today. You would have more than gotten your money's worth. It's the same with Mario Kart World. Now, thankfully, we all three got the bundle, so we didn't pay $80 for it. We paid $50 for it. But I don't think that $80 was necessarily that big of a deal after launch. I'm curious what you two think. You both might disagree with me. You might call me a moron, and that's fine. Honestly, it'd be better content if you did do that. I'm a hoe for the content.
But I will say, I'll say as a standalone, I don't think that the 80. I think the 80 might have been too much. But if they do support it with free DLC, free characters, new courses, and things like that, then I absolutely think that 80 is worth it.
Kyle?
Yeah, I agree. That's my biggest standpoint is the content. If we have paid content, you're looking at a game that's going to be over $100 post-release. If you
that I will have an issue with.
Back in the day, we used to buy a season pass, and it would guarantee us all the DLC that game was going to have. Which, if you looked at it, the game, was usually $60. Sometimes the season pass was as much as $40, so that was $100, yeah. But you're getting all the content that they were ever going to come out with. So I thought that was fair. The extra price tag with paid content is extremely predatory, but again,
yes, I do agree with that.
If it's free, I will actually have no problem with it being 80, and I think I understand it. And I'll even go as far as to say this. If you want to take a look at certain games like Mario Kart World that are going to be online, that have the potential to get post-launch content, consistent updates, I think instead of going for a store where you pay real money, where you have to grind for in-game currency, tack $10 extra onto the price up front and make the content free. Because I do not want to grind for, Peach coins or whatever they're going to give me to buy skins out of a Mario Kart store. I would hate that. I
agree.
And it doesn't look like they're going to do that. So when they do come out with DLC, if it's free, I think this is a complete dub, price and all,
Well, and I agree. I agree with that. I think the other thing that I'm thinking of is how many times recently in the last, say, 3 years, how many times have we paid for a game and we felt like we got a half-baked product? How many times? Like I hate to, as much as I've praised Nintendo over the last month for both the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, among other things as well. I do think it's worth pointing out that it was just like 3 years ago. We got Mario Strikers Battle League. We paid $60 for it, and that game realistically wasn't worth more than $25. Like
trading characters was not the right way to go.
Exactly. At the very least, to me, this is a complete game. We're getting all the content, and it's a pretty fair, lofty amount of content, albeit for an inflated price, which, again, if content after launch is free, I live with it. Because at the end of the day, that means that over the next 5 or 6 years, I'm going to get my money's worth out of that game. And at the end of the day, $80 is $80, but I'm also only paying it one time, and I've not paid $80 for another game outside of that for just the base game. I've not paid like that to me has been the sticking point with people who hate the Switch 2 and are like actively rooting against it is, oh, games are $80 now. One of them is.
Yeah,
Mario Kart World is 80. I know that Tears of the Kingdom is also 80, but here's the reality. 90% of Switch 2 owners already own Tears of the Kingdom, and they can upgrade either for free with the online or for $10. Mm-hmm. Yep. So realistically, you're not spending 80 again on that. You're spending at most $10 on that. So for a new game, and it's only 80, I really don't think it's as big of a deal as maybe we made it out to be. And I know that might make me sound hypocritical because I know when they had that direct that revealed all the prices, I was pretty critical of that. But I'll own that. I'm fine with that. Now, back on the actual game, because one thing that I just realized we hadn't talked about yet, the actual tracks and courses themselves might be the best in Mario Kart ever.
Oh yeah,
might be the best. Like Kyle, the first time you saw this game's version of Rainbow Road, holy shit,
dude! I'm playing it right now. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I'm on the last. I'm on the last Grand Prix.
There's guys worked out while recording.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating on that.
On Rainbow Road, I'm on the first transition, which this is another part. Like the stages where they like take you up, to a second level or to a whole other section of the track, I think are incredible, because for most of Mario Kart, it's pretty much race around the same track, X amount of laps. This one, I feel like, specifically tries to steer away from showing the same visuals over and over, even if on certain, like Peach Beach, for example, you're racing around the same track, but if you notice, there are certain things that change each time. I really like that, because it gives a lot more variety, and it gives a lot more replayability to tracks that maybe you've already replayed a bunch. Rainbow Road, dude, you've got like so many different sections of that track. Sometimes I forget I'm still on Rainbow Road because, it's crazy. Or like, Bowser's Castle is another one. You go up an entire river of lava to a whole other section of the castle, and then you race around that.
It's sick. It's so sick.
The tracks with more than 3 laps, I don't understand the discourse surrounding that, because I guess there is like half of the Mario Kart fans who hate it, and the other half of us don't care. I love it. I think it is an improvement, and I want to see more of that, because three lap tracks are fine. They're fun. The best track in all of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is Baby Park.
100%.
That is
justice for Baby Park.
That is not a 3-lap track. I want more.
Hell yeah.
I want more. I like them. I think that everybody complaining that the online does not allow you to spam 3-lap tracks is dumb. I don't care. They purposely put more tracks in here that have, 5, that have 7, that have 8.
Yeah.
That's how this game is. If you don't like it, go back and play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But I like this game because it's not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's very much indistinguishably different.
Y'all dumbasses cannot complain that y'all wanted something different and then complain that y'all just wanted Mario Kart 8 Deluxe redone. Y'all cannot complain about that.
Yeah.
That is a stupid thing to complain about. Because Matt, like we talk about creativity in these maps, talk about the maps that are not just 3 laps. I mean, dude, one of the best courses in this game is 8 laps, and it's DK Spaceport, and it is such a unique map that you get to the start of it, and you're like, okay, how is this going to be 8 laps? Because this looks like a normal track. Then you get to like lap 4, and you realize that the next 4 laps are short, but there is a mechanized Donkey Kong that is throwing obstacles at you for all 4 of the laps, and they're all different. Like, dude, it's awesome. Like, that's my favorite track because, again, there was nothing like that in 8 Deluxe. There was nothing like that. Like, Matt, I know you also loved Sky High Sunday as well. That's another really cool one. I think it might just be a 3-lap track, but I'll just be real, man. That course clears every track that is in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, with the exception of Baby Park. That is the only one it does not clear.
Yeah, like I played a lot of Sky High Sunday as part of the booster course pass on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I loved it then. And in here, they completely revitalized it. They made different branching paths, and I love the fact that, like, with older courses, that they were able to revisit them and then revamp them and then make it fit into the 24-player mark. And then with all the additions of like adding, the wall gliding and like different parts, like it was almost like an entirely new track, and it was perfect. Like, going back to other tracks, like not just that one, but like even Airship Fortress, which was a very popular track from Mario Kart DS, I believe.
Moo Moo Meadows.
Moo Moo Meadows is completely different, and that was on the Mario Kart Wii. And as far as new tracks go, DK Spaceport's phenomenal. Obviously, Rainbow Road is incredible, and I am jealous for people who have yet to play it and get to experience it again for the first time. But
it's so cool.
You have other ones like Boo Cinema, which is just it has it starts off in a very familiar course, like going back to the original Mario Kart. And then you go into a movie theater and you see like cinema reels playing around as you're, riding on the reels. Like it's incredible. And another course that I absolutely loved was there was one that I really, really liked. But there's just so many I can't even think of it right now. It was like Rosalina stage. That's like the ice peaks.
Yes, Starview Peak. Starview Peak, yes.
Yes, that was gorgeous, especially when you were just gliding on like the water and the sparkles in the water. Like just, oh my God, it was just amazing in every way.
That's the thing I think is most impressive about this game is that one of the things that was criticized outside of the price was how the game looked. Dude, you can't tell me this game doesn't look good. You cannot tell me this game does not look good. This game looks amazing. Visually and technically, and guys, the crazy thing is, this is a Nintendo console, a Nintendo first party on a Nintendo console. And Nintendo is not known for their online. I've not had one disconnect. I don't know that either of you have had any disconnects. Like Nintendo, they've not been an online console kind of company. And yet, it feels like with this attempt, they knocked it out of the park. It's damn near flawless. Like I think there's so much more. Go ahead.
Oh, I just said they knocked it out of the baby park.
I hate you. I hate you. But I'll allow it because baby park supremacy will always be a thing. Before we call it an episode, boys, because I know we talked about this on the first time we recorded it. Obviously, a ton of characters in this game. A ton. And we are expecting them to add on new ones. Who are some new characters that are not currently in the game that you guys would like to see them add down the road? Kyle, I'll let you go first, and then Matt, you go after him.
I want them to add Link, obviously, because he was already in 8, and I think that a Hyrule track in Mario Kart World with these fucking graphics would be insane. I'd love to see it.
Hyrule Circuit, I just want to say this. I just want to say this. Hyrule Circuit on 8 Deluxe, in my opinion, was one of the most underrated tracks in that entire game. I never thought that track got the love it deserved. Matt, what about you?
I would like, as far as like feature content and maybe like crossovers with future games, Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out. I think we could add like, younger Pauline, and then also add like Diddy Kong, maybe Dixie. Because, Diddy Kong's been in the game for a very long time, so it's kind of a bummer to see him not here. So I think that's like the perfect opportunity to do that. And like, as we get closer to the release date of Kirby Air Riders 2 or just Kirby Air Riders, maybe put Kirby in there or something.
Like, to me, this is a game that screams cross-collaboration. This screams that. To me, like, I would love to see all of the major mascots from Nintendo, Kirby, Link. I would love to see them in this game as well. I would love, because I don't think we've seen her in any of these games. I would love it if Samus got added to this game. Because give us like a Metroid theme track or something. Add Star Fox or Captain Falcon. Add like them in. Yeah, like add them in. And I feel like legitimately, if you do that, you will give people a reason to keep coming back to this game. And at the end of the day, you do that and you make that content free, that $80 price tag is going to be forgotten about so fast, and people will not care. So that's just how I look at it. I think that any of those characters, like, and add their villains too. Add like King K. Rool or King DDD. Like, add them into the game as well. Like, I feel like that could cook. There's already a penguin in the game. like shit. There's already a penguin.
Penguin.
I swear to God. I mean, listen, Kyle's been maining the cow. So, I mean, I am disappointed that the cow did not get a skin. But then I realized that the only skin it would get would be it turning into a hamburger. So, okay, that might have been much. But nonetheless, boys, it's been a good episode. Do either of y'all have anything y'all want to add before we call it?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't talk about your new favorite mode, Knockout Tour.
Oh, my God. How did I forget Knockout Tour? Good Lord.
It's like the best edition.
Oh my good God! I'm glad you said something. Yeah, Knockout Tour is fantastic. Like for them to somehow create like a battle royale style like race in a racing game, I think that's awesome. Like, and it's one of those. And I heard this described really well, and I wonder how you two feel about this. I'm really glad you said something, Matt, because I slick would have forgot. But someone said that like when you're in a Knockout Tour, whether it's online against NPCs or against your friends. Like, if you're one of those that, like, you have to finish 16th to qualify and to keep racing, like, you get there, like, you're kind of, you get there by the skin of your teeth, you're in 16th place, you qualify, but there's almost, like, this, like, renewed sense of, like, energy, or there's, like, this renewed source of energy, because you're like, all right, I survived, now I got to find a way to move my way forward. Like, it's like you get this, like, second wind when you barely qualify, and that second wind is able, in most cases, along with a little bit of luck, to carry you maybe to even finishing on the podium. Like, I think this, Matt, I'm glad you brought it up because I think this mode is fantastic and it's one of the best things they've ever added to a Mario Kart.
It's worth being in a party to hear your reactions alone. You're like, oh no!
I'm in first. I see a blue shell. I'm like, oh no! We just need the damn camera so that we can see our faces.
I want to play some tonight.
Oh my God, Kyle! I know. So, Kyle, I did want to ask you about this. And again, Matt, I'm going to sound like a burger. I appreciate you saying that because I was going to forget that. We've talked about a lot, but I was going to forget that. Kyle, obviously, I know that for you, it took a couple of times doing it to really get into it. What for you was the moment where you were like, okay, yeah, this game mode's elite?
Honestly, I think it was when we played. I think we played the second or third time. All four of us actually made it into the finals. And it was literally us three against a computer, bro. We bullied that man. And then he started bullying us back. But
I'm pretty sure that NPC, I'm pretty sure he finished him first.
Yeah, but honestly, that's what it was like when we all made it to the end and we were like fighting against the NPC, fighting against each other, like that last lap was what really did it for me, because I thought that this mode is just so genius to have you going with no intermission, just track to track to track, you know. If you were to set up, like, if you were to do 32 tracks, are you racing across the whole damn place? Because that's pretty fucking cool, I'm not gonna lie.
If there's one thing Nintendo I can ask for, it is that please add a knockout tour that includes Rainbow Road.
Yes. Dude.
Yeah, sadly missing.
Please add that, because, Kyle, we were talking about it, the transitions on Knockout Tour are sick. Can you imagine transitioning from, like, Mario Bros. Circuit into Rainbow Road, or from Starview Peak into Rainbow Road? Like, that would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. And you could do it because they have plenty of stage transitions within the same map where you just, fly upwards. They could literally just do that, and then you go to Rainbow Road.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Matt brought that up. Kyle, was there anything else that I forgot that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think that was it.
Okay, so it was just one of the biggest parts of the game that I nearly blundered and forgot. Matt, don't ever let anybody slander you and tell you you're not a valued member of Side Mission. And by that, I mean, don't ever let me tell you you're not a valued member of Side Mission. It's a joke, of course. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for this episode of Side Mission. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Side Mission Pod. You can check us out on Facebook as well at Side Mission Podcast. For the boys, for Kyle, for Matt, I'm Rusty. Thanks for listening.